Hello, welcome to the POW Weather Channel. Today we're talking about the weekend ahead so you can plan your activities. Before we get started, if you do like weather-related content, please consider subscribing to my channel as I post about 4 to 5 videos a week. Comment the city and state where you're from so I know the reach my videos are getting. I personally live in McKinney, Texas, about 30 miles north of Dallas. So let's get started. So first, we're going to take you up to the northwest where, I don't know about you, but I'm a runner and this is perfect running weather. This is Saturday morning. We're talking lows in the 50s, even some 40s up in Oregon, Washington, parts of Northern California, into Nevada, even into Montana, 40s and 50s. You don't actually get into the 60s until you go down to Kansas, going into the 70s in Oklahoma, and where you're stuck into the high pressure in Texas, you're still locked into the mid 70s. But you do have low dew points, so that's good. But all the southeast, where you're locked under that ridge, you have low 70s, even down in the Florida, where you have that tropical moisture, and even into the Carolinas, going into the Virginias, and you start creeping into the 50s again once you come up into the Chicago region. And as you go into Maine, you'll start dipping down in those 40s. So for Saturday morning, there's not much rainfall. So although you had some pretty nice weather, there's not much rainfall to speak of. So it's going to be really nice to get out and plan and have a walk or have an early morning run. But as we go for the Saturday afternoon, things start heating up a little bit. We go into the upper 60s and low 60s up into Idaho and parts of Montana. We do dip down into the 100s again and the desert Southwest and to Phoenix area and Las Vegas. We're pushing mid to upper 90s into Texas, but you do see some cool down coming. We're pushing into the 100s, so this is probably our last 100-degree weather for the year, hopefully. So parts of Louisiana, and then where you have that tropical moisture into Florida on Saturday afternoon, you'll be dipping into the 80s under some rainy and cloudy skies. But you have mid 90s into parts of South Carolina and upper 70s into the Virginia and Maryland regions, and then getting into the 60s and into the 50s up in Maine. But definitely mid 60s up in Minnesota. And as you can see, even on Saturday afternoon, like I said, there's not much rain to speak of. The only part is this little disturbance that we're watching. There's going to be some rainfall to Florida. So overall, Saturday is a really nice day to go out for a run. Just get outside and enjoy it because it's going to be really nice pretty much everywhere. Sunday morning is another great morning, even dipping down a little further, even a little bit chillier up in the northwest. You got 50s and 60s popping up, but some 30s even popping up into Colorado, where they actually had some snow earlier today up in Vail Pass. So that was nice to see. We were seeing some early morning snowfall, and they had some snow yesterday in Utah. But we've got some 40s into parts of Wyoming, into Montana, and 50s in the Dakotas, and it does dip down into the low 80s into the desert Southwest, still locked into the mid 70s into Texas, all parts of Southeast locked into that ridge. And we got 50s into the Nebraskas, lower 60s now into Chicago, but upper and mid 50s into Pennsylvania. So that'll be a really nice morning for you guys. And again, not much rain to speak of. The only parts a little bit in the northwest, of course, Florida is with that tropical system. But parts of Chicago, you might have some showers coming in early on Saturday morning into northern Illinois and to Wisconsin states. So it's a great morning to get outside on the patio and just kind of read a book and relax. It's going to be fabulous pretty much everywhere. On Sunday afternoon, we've got low 60s popping up. That's going to feel really nice in the Seattle region and down to Oregon area, mid 60s. So this isn't too bad. I mean, fall's coming up, 10 days away. So we're seeing the first signs of it right now. But the last hurrah for summers in Texas and the Southeast, where we're going to be experiencing the upper 90s again and a good chunk of Texas, Southeast, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia. Again, Florida's being locked into that system and that tropical system wherever it decides to go. It still hasn't formed a center yet. And then parts of the Carolinas where they still got that tropical feature, some moisture in the low 80s, and we swing back up into New York and Pennsylvania Valley into the mid 70s, and that's your Sunday afternoon. But overall, like again, not much rain to speak of. So even just some showers popping up in the Seattle region into Oregon. But again, we have some overflow from an Eastern Pacific storm into the desert Southwest where you might get an afternoon rain shower. But again, the only really true rain to speak of is in Florida from that tropical system, and then swinging up parts of the Carolinas from that overflow from the tropical system. But overall, a super nice weekend ahead. So get out and enjoy yourself and spend some time outside. I appreciate you watching. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. You can also do me a favor and tell 250 of your friends about this channel. I appreciate your support. So stay tuned to the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.